Mic check, mic check. Guys ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. Commissioner Rice is going to lead us in our pledge.
Right over your heart. Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Patrick? Here. Commissioner Rice?
Here.
Commissioner Trejo?
Here.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Here.
Chairman Springs?
Here. Any communications from staff?
Yes, Chairman. Just would like to announce we received one item of communication regarding item 6B. It's been distributed and posted online.
Public comments regarding agenda items. Person wishing to address the Planning Commission on any items on the agenda other than the public hearing may do so at this time. Operator, can you open up the phone lines for us?
If you wish to make a comment, please press pound 2 on your telephone keypad. Please press pound 2 if you wish to make a comment. There are no comments at this time.
Thank you. We're going to close this segment. We'd like to get an approval on the minutes of September 7th, 2022.
I move that the Planning Commission approve the minutes of September 7th, 2022.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. We're going to call for any questions. Hearing none, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Patrick?
Aye.
Commissioner Rice?
Abstain.
Commissioner Trejo?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Aye.
Chairman Springs?
Aye. Madam Secretary, the first item, please.
Design Review 2022-008 to allow exterior alterations to an existing two-story commercial building on an approximately 24,750 square foot mixed-use 1A overlay zone property at 11161 Crenshaw Boulevard.
Chairman Springs and Commission, the file is present and notice has been given in the form and manner as required by law. Staff received no correspondence from the public on this item, and Assistant Planner Christina Rivera is present to do a short staff presentation.
No, we can't hear you. There it is.
Good evening, Chairman Springs and members of the Commission. The subject site for this design review is located at 11161 Crenshaw Boulevard and has a Crenshaw Imperial TOD General Plan designation with the TOD Mixed Use 1A overlay. This is the first design review in the new Crenshaw Imperial TOD area. The property is located on the northwest corner of Crenshaw Boulevard and 112th Street, with commercial uses to the north, south, and east, and residential uses to the west. The applicant is proposing exterior facade alterations to an existing commercial structure with no changes to the building footprint. Alterations to the east facade include removal of the main entrance door, removal of 89 feet of the raised planter, and new classroom doors. Alterations to the west facade include installation of horizontal faux wood siding above the new main entrance doors, new classroom windows, and signage on the new faux wood facade. Alterations to the south facade include installation of new entry trellis and new rolling gate. Findings have been made that the project is in accordance with design review standards. And as conditioned, the proposed project will serve as an enhancement to its neighborhood setting and will be compatible with the surrounding area. The facade and the architectural treatments are compatible with the Crenshaw Imperial TOD mixed-use guideline in that parking is located at the rear of the building, parking will be screened, and the project will use high-quality materials and finishes for updates. If the Planning Commission approves the request, the applicant will be required to complete the site plan review process. The proposed project is consistent with the general plan and supports the goals of the circulation and land use elements, and is exempt from further environmental review. This concludes my presentation, and I am available to answer any questions the commission might have. And the applicant is also on the phone tonight to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're going to open up for questions for you. We're going to start with Commissioner Shaw Williams.
No questions at this time.
Okay. Commissioner Trejo,
Questions, thank you.
Commissioner Rice,
Yes, we have existing windows in the building, but it sounds like I heard you say we're going to have new windows.
Yes.
Are all of the windows going to be replaced to be consistent across the entire exterior?
Yes, it looks like they will be all changed to be consistent.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Patrick.
No questions at this time, thank you.
No questions for me. Thank you very much. Good presentation. If the applicant is available, could you give us your name and tell us about your project?
Your line is unmuted. Please go ahead. Squares.
Hi, I'm actually the next item on the agenda.
I apologize. Applicant, could you please press #2 on your telephone keypad?
We can't hear you.
Your line is unmuted. Please go ahead.
Good evening. This is Mike McCormick. I'm the architect of record for the project. The project before you is a interior tenant improvement for a daycare to serve the community and site improvements to support that daycare use. We are providing new entrances to those to the building off of 112th Street and playground improvements and parking. The project will serve about 40 children for daycare use. Only exclusively the work is on the first floor. The playground will be fully enclosed with shade structures and trees, trellis structures, and planting along a portion of Crenshaw Boulevard at grade. That's the substantial part of our project.
Okay, very good. Thank you. We're going to have questions for you, sir. And we're going to start with Commissioner Patrick.
I haven't any, thank you.
Commissioner Rice.
Just one for staff first. This is a design review. However, it lists that we're going to have a wood facade in the front that's going to be changed, and it says "and sign." Would the sign be part of our design review also? What type of signage would it be there?
It'll be signage to identify the business, and that'll be reviewed under sign permits.
Okay, Thank you.
Commissioner Trio?
Good evening. Is the building occupied now, or you're looking to have it occupied after the improvements have been made?
Right, the building is currently not occupied. The owner just purchased the building. The improvements will be made in order to make it suitable for use.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
I have no questions.
I have no questions. Thank you very much, sir. Is there a motion on the floor?
That we affirm categorical exemption EA-CE 2022-097 and adopt the attached resolution approving DR 2022-008, subject to the 11 conditions and/or any other conditions that may be deemed appropriate.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. We'll call for any questions. Hearing none, we'll call for a vote.
Commissioner Rice? Commissioner Trejo?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Aye.
And, I'm sorry, Chairman Springs?
Aye. Ms. Wilcox?
Yes, Chairman. According to the Inglewood Municipal Code, this decision can be appealed by the applicant within 10 days from the notice of Planning Commission action by filing a written notification to the Planning Division and submitting an appeal fee of $389, at which time the file will be transmitted to the City Council for their consideration.
Thank you. Okay, you have your resign review approved, sir. Very good, thank you. Madam Secretary, next.
Design Review 2022-009 to allow a new 8-story mixed-use building with 3,500 square feet of retail floor area and 222 apartment units on an approximately 38,000 square foot M-UA mixed-use arts cluster zoned property at 939 Manchester Boulevard.
Chairman Springs and Commission, the file is present and notice has been given in the form and manner as required by law. Staff received one item of correspondence from the public, and planner Marissa Fuel is present to do a short staff presentation.
Good evening, Chairman Springs and members of the Commission. The subject site for this design review is located at 939 West Manchester Boulevard on the northeast corner of Manchester Boulevard and Hindley Avenue. The zoning for the property is mixed-use arts cluster, and it is located within the Westchester Veterans Transit-Oriented District land use designation. The approximately 38,000 square foot property has frontage on Manchester Boulevard to the south and east and Hindley Avenue to the west. Properties to the north, east, and west are developed with commercial and industrial uses. Property to the south across Manchester Boulevard is developed with commercial uses. Since the subject site is located within the MUA zone of the Westchester Veterans TOD, design review is required for all new development, and this is the first design review for the Westchester Veterans TOD plan. The subject site is currently developed with 3 one-story buildings that operate as a car wash and auto repair service with associated on-site parking. The applicant is proposing the construction of an 8-story mixed-use building with 3 basement levels with 3,500 square feet of retail floor area for 2 tenant spaces, 222 residential units, including 11 affordable units, and associated on-site parking to meet IMC requirements. The ground level will contain the retail area, residential leasing and lobby areas, and parking. Levels 2 through 8 will include residential units, residential amenities, and a roof deck located on the 8th floor. The development will also include 3 levels of subterranean parking. The residential component is proposed to contain studio units, one-bedroom units, and two-bedroom units. The project exceeds open space requirements by providing common area open space and private balconies for 184 of the units, and a total of approximately 19,000 square feet of open space will be provided. The proposed development will have multiple pedestrian access points, shown by the red stars on the screen, including multiple residential entries, commercial pedestrian entryways at the corner and on Manchester Boulevard, one parking garage entryway on Hindry, and another parking garage entryway on Manchester. Vehicular access into the parking garage will only be provided from Hendry Avenue, shown with the large green star on the screen. The architectural style of the development is contemporary and utilizes neutral toned colors of white, gray, and brown. Material selections include plaster, vertical board panels, stone veneer, block wall, and transparent glass. A number of architectural elements used throughout the development incorporate the TOD mixed-use design guideline requirements, including shop front frontage type with canopy awnings over the entryways, a separate and prominent residential entrance, prominent retail space located at the site's corner, varying building heights due to the pool deck and roof deck, balconies provided for individual units, multiple pedestrian access points to the on-site parking, screened and below-grade parking, enclosed commercial loading and trash area, and varying exterior color and materials used while maintaining a harmonious color palette. Due to these incorporated elements, the architectural design of the project is compatible with the area and is in compliance with all of the requirements of the TOD mixed-use design guidelines. The proposed development includes landscaped elements throughout the site. The main residential entryway on Manchester Boulevard will include enhanced paving, planters, and large potted plants. The second floor pool deck will include decorative pavers, festival lights, and built-in planters for vegetation and trees. The 8th level roof deck will also include decorative pavers and planting elements. These landscaped amenities will include the pool and spa, lounge areas, outdoor furniture, built-in barbecues, and fire pits. Staff has determined that the findings required for design review have been met and that the site and proposed design are compatible with the existing uses and buildings along Manchester Boulevard, the Westchester Veterans TOD land use designation, and IMC regulations. If the Planning Commission approves the request, the applicant will be required to complete the site plan review process and record a parcel map to consolidate the lots into one. The proposed development will provide interior and exterior cameras throughout the site, with the exact number and location of cameras being determined during site plan review. One public comment in favor of the project has been received. This comment was placed at your seats earlier. The proposed project is consistent with elements of the general plan and is exempt from further environmental review. This concludes my presentation, and I'm available for any questions. The applicant is also on the line tonight to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Very good report. We're going to start up questions for you for Commissioner Patrick.
I see that you talk quite a bit about parking, but you don't give a designated number of parking places. You talk about the subterranean parking. Are my concerns a bit premature at this point, since this is just a design review? But there isn't any mention of the number of parking spaces that you're going to have.
This project complies with all parking requirements. They actually have a few parking spaces above the requirements.
Well, the reason I ask is you know, right down the street from there is the large project for for veterans. And there's already a problem with parking there. So that's what's my concern.
Let me look up the number real quick.
Okay, thank you. That's okay, I found it. But you can look, we'll see if it's the same.
249.
I'm sorry?
249?
And it's going to be a total of 222 residential units?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks. I didn't see that.
Commissioner Rice?
And I know it's out of our purview also, but that was one of my questions and directions. I was looking at the beautiful parking structure and how nicely it was designed, and I was just concerned that those spaces looked as nicely in person as they did on the images I had here. But now that I see we have 249, I like that also.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Commissioner Trio?
Yes, it is a really nice-looking building, and certainly would enhance that area there. I do have a couple of questions. Mostly it'll be for the applicant, but I'm going to ask you, Melissa, the setbacks, there are no setback requirements from Manchester?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so it's just flush to the sidewalk of Manchester Boulevard, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. That's all my questions for you. Thank you.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Well, my question has also been answered because I was curious about the number of parking spaces, and that has been answered, so I have no further questions.
Okay, I have no questions either. Thank you, Melissa. Very good report. If the applicant is available, please give us your name and tell us about your project.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can,
This is
yes,
Randall
thank you.
Real? Oh, great. Thank you very much. So, yeah, I think the
And your name is?
project described
Your name?
Randall Real?
Rando Rio. Okay, Mr. Rio.
Correct, yes. R-E-E-L.
Okay,
Thank
go ahead,
you.
sir.
Yes, so the project, we're very excited about the project. We made efforts to comply with all the zoning parameters, and we feel that the ability to bring a little bit of retail to activate the corner and the pedestrian activity there is positive, and we're excited about bringing 222 units, 600 feet, approximately 600 feet from the new rails line that's opening, I believe, this Friday, which we're going to be very excited and be there for that. And we're really happy about the design of the building and the nice curvature at the corner. Creates a nice statement there, and we're really happy about you're helping us get this done, and look forward to building a beautiful building here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have some questions for you. We're going to start with Commissioner Patrick.
I haven't any questions. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Commissioner Rice?
Hello, sir. How are you? Hello?
Are you
Yes,
still?
hello.
We have questions for you, Mr. Rando. One of our commissioners is getting ready to ask you a question. Go ahead, sir.
Did you take advantage of the density bonus at this project?
Yes, we did, sir. We have 11 affordable units that meet the 5% requirement.
That's quite. Yeah, I noticed you didn't use 10%, which is usually our standard. But okay. I have another question for you. The firing range, the Arby's, and the Days Hotel is going to stay there based on the plan that you have, the footprint that you're taking up. You're not taking down any of those structures, are you?
Yeah. Yes, that is correct. Those will all stay.
Okay. All of the facade is listed as plaster color. When you say plaster, is that indicative of stucco?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
Even in the caves where you have the reveals on the balconies, it looks like it's a kind of a brown color. That's stucco also?
I believe that,
Hi, this is
yes.
Jaren Chu calling from TCA. Sorry,
Thank you.
I can answer that question, Randall. There will be a mixture of stucco color.
Excuse me, sir.
Plastic color.
Can you hold on just a minute? Can you tell us who you are?
Oh, I apologize. This is Jaren Chu. I am the architect for representing on behalf of the applicant.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. But there are plaster color in reference to stucco. There's also fiber cement panel on the curve, the curvature massing at the corner of Manchester and Hendry. And there are highlighted metal fascia or some kind of fascia plate at the balconies that's represented in the brown.
That's a cement panel, just smooth finish cement, but you have it has a grid on it. That's why you're calling it a panel.
That's correct. It is a panel that it comes in a module in height and width, and we're utilizing the panel to create the vertical grid. Correct. And that's what you see in the illustration. There's vertical lines in the facade.
Okay, and you're saying block wall here. Is that a cinder block or slump stone, or what type of block are you using?
Yeah, we're using burnished block at the base for the planter boxes.
It's a veneer?
No, it is it's a 6-inch burnished block.
Say that one more time.
It is a 6-inch thick burnished block.
Burnished block. Okay.
So it's a full block with the burnished finish.
Yeah. Okay.
Has a nice texture to it.
It does. It has a bit of a aggregate, exposed aggregate, but it's visually it looks texture, but it's smooth.
Yeah, architecturally, it's a beautiful building. I'm just concerned that all the stucco finishes here. I mean, over time, it's gonna just wear fast, and it doesn't have any detail that really makes it continue to have architectural integrity over an extended period of time. Am I missing something?
Okay. Well, the main facade, there are generally or stucco on some ends and in the courtyard, but on the base where it's more highly pedestrian traveled, at the retail level, it is a stone veneer or ceramic tile veneer. So there is more high impact quality material at the base, and then the plaster are above the ground floor.
What type of finish are you going to use on your plaster?
We're probably looking into using a sand finish, 2020 to 2030. That's very standard in industry standard, so that you don't see any warping in terms of the construction, tolerances. 2030 finish, sand finish, either integro or painted.
That's just the cheapest way to go.
Well, one way is
how about a smooth finish or something that has highs and lows? That looks a little.
Well, the 2030 we find that the sand finish, because of how large in scale of these panels, because they only come in about 120 square feet with control joints. So there are individual panels that's about 10 by 12 at max to control the cracking of those plaster naturally. And we realized that the sand finish is the best quality in terms of light, how light hits it. So when it's too smooth, if there's any imperfection in the construction, which is nothing that we can control, it creates a warping effect. So the sand finish is the best finish in terms of all.
In your pictorial here, you're showing control joints, vertical and horizontal, about every 8 feet by 4 or 6 feet. And I want to make sure with the planning department that we make sure that they do that. We have these control joints throughout. Otherwise, it's going to look like something really cheap?
No, we have to, because we have to control the cracking at the window line and floor line. So those are going to remain, just because we don't want cracking of, like you say, we do not want to see cracks in our plaster or suckle.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
And Commissioner, we do have a condition in the resolution that the final plans need to conform with what you're reviewing tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good questions, David. Commissioner Trio?
Good evening, Mr. Reel.
Good evening.
I have a question that I guess is a security question. And I had asked previously about the setbacks, because the building is right up against Manchester Boulevard, which is a heavily trafficked area, both automobiles and pedestrian. And I was looking at the design of the lobby, the leasing area, the mail area, and the other, that it appears to me that anyone can like walk into the building, or what is the security there? Can you explain that to me?
Well, generally
Sure.
speaking, that's a management operations concern, and we do have security, yes, and there are people there at all times, so it's really very well controlled there, yeah. And that's typical for all of our apartments.
And I can add to that, Randall. It is going to be a control access, like many of the apartments, through key fob. And I think if you're a resident, then you'll have the key fob access. So those doors are generally locked. And if you're a guest, there will be some kind of telecom communication panel to alert your friend or your guest or your resident to come down to get you. And there are security gates in all the entrances to the parking. So they are both secure for vehicles and as well as pedestrians. And they are planned for that reason, so that the retail people or patrons aren't commingling or mingling into the residential without the security authorization. So it is going to be a fully secured building.
Okay, because my concern is, what came to mind was, 6 months ago or so on Melrose Boulevard, where a young lady was in a furniture store, and I think at that time, a homeless individual went in and ended up killing her because nobody else was around, and I guess it was easy access. And that's my concern here. So I want to make sure that at site plan review that they do indeed have controlled access, and somebody walking up the street or down Manchester Boulevard can't just walk in and maybe go to the leasing office, somebody's there, and then do some bad things. So you say that that's always going to be locked. How about if somebody wants to go into the leasing office? They wouldn't have a key.
Well, that's correct. The front door where it says the pedestrian access or entrance to the lobby, that would be unlocked typically for a project like this. Or they have ways to communicate with the leasing. The leasing is directly off the lobby, the main entry in Manchester, so they have views from the street, or from inside to the street as well as to the lobby. So there is the direct line of sight who's at the door. So it could be, after hours, and they'd be able to buzz in.
Are you going to have any kind of alarm system or something that a person that's in the leasing office or sitting in the lobby, and if they see somebody come in, rush in very quickly, like, it's you see in the news all the time that they have something that they can activate right away. I know you're going to have cameras, but cameras generally catch the bad things happening after the fact, but to try to catch it beforehand, because you try to do something there, and Manchester is an easy getaway. Somebody can be in a car, get on Manchester and just take off very quickly. So, I know
well,
that's part
yes,
of the design review.
there'll be active, and just adding on to, there'll all times be active security systems for all the personnel working, as well as the controlled access, which gives you your kind of first line of defense, if you will, in the unfortunate type of scenario you're describing. So yeah, that's something we think about.
Okay, I'm glad. That was part of the design. If it wasn't in there, that the design should include that, some kind of security for those that may be in an office by themselves. How about the division of the lobby and the mail area? Is there like a wall or something that separates the lobby and the mail area? Because if somebody's standing there getting their mail and somebody rushes in from the unlocked door, how is that designed?
I think I can take this comment or question. Thanks, Randall. This is Jaron again. The way that the lobby and the mailroom is designed is that we try to keep it a little bit more on an open plan, so that there is visual connection in case it's not about just people potentially coming in. That's through secure access, but also having someone break into your mail room, or, mail lockers, or taking packages and stealing your mail. I think it's important that we have security, which we're providing through security cameras, but as well as being able to have a line of sight from the lobby and leasing, so that they know that if there's a bad actor roaming around just to get access to mailboxes, it's easily identified versus having a enclosed room of boxes where it's hidden from the public view. So it's kind of to be seen and be seen. That's how we usually design the mailroom.
So your line of sight is your security measure, right?
The line of sight plus the security cameras that are planned throughout the common spaces. Correct.
Well,
and our storefront on the ground floor is very transparent through Manchester, so the entire ground floor space, similar to the retail storefront, is transparent. Therefore, any type of activities will be viewable from the sidewalk as well as from the interior.
okay. Well, that is a major concern for me because, and I'm glad that you've taken into consideration every scenario, but if there is something additional that you can do, like how like at the banks they have these alarm buttons you can push. I hope that is in those, you build something like that in, and I'm talking site plan review here, that you build something like that in, because you just never know. I mean, our climate now is can get pretty scary nowadays. So.
Yeah, and also just also to indicate that the common areas are fully lit at all time. It doesn't get dark. For instance, in the lobby, like most of these apartment complexes, they are going to be fully lit, as well as the entry. So I think ample lighting is crucial to the design.
And your retail is set up similarly. Well, there you're not going to have it locked, are you, the doors?
During the business hours, they will be open. After hours, they will be locked, like all retail.
Okay. Again, I do like the building. It's really nice. I like the design. I think you're providing great amenities. And who's your target population? Is it singles? Maybe a couple?
I'll leave that to Randall to.
Yeah, no, the target, and also at some point, Samira on our team has a has some really good relevant comments. So please chime in at any time, Samira. But generally, yeah, we're targeting quite a wide variety of tenants because this area has a lot of demand generators in all directions. That's one of the reasons we like it so much. In addition to the very, very accessible public transportation. But yeah, there will be couples, there will be single people of really a wide range of ages, and working in the local area, and also commuting to jobs up and down the 405 freeway. So that's one of the nice things about this location is we'll have a great diversity of tenants to lease to.
Yeah, I think it'll change the area. I just want the project to be safe, so that was my main concern. Thank you for supplying additional information.
Okay, Commissioner Shaw,
Thank you.
we have some more questions for you, sir. Commissioner Shaw Williams?
I was just curious, what retail businesses are you looking to bring in? And approximately how many retail businesses can be at this particular location? How much space is available for that?
Well, I'll start and also invite Samira or anyone else to chime in on that too. But probably 2 tenants, and we would, first look for a really high quality coffee, sundry shop, cafe type of tenant to kind of activate. And we see that type of tenant as an amenity to the building and the tenants as well. And some see that as an equal amenity to the pool and fitness centers. It's really important to us. And then once you have that tenant situated, we find a complementary tenant, some sort of simple food use. I don't know. There's a lot in the market. There's bagel and yogurt and ice cream, all different types of things. But, those are typically what you target, and also seen as an amenity to the building and hopefully to the neighborhood.
Very nice. It's a very beautiful building. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay, I
very much.
I don't have a question, I have a comment. You're taking away one of my favorite car wash places, so that was my only comment.
Yeah. Well, me too.
Okay, we have no other further questions, so at this time, is there any further questions? I see Commissioner.
Chairman.
Okay, is there a motion on the floor?
First, I'd like to ask staff, this will come back from an operational standpoint. Will this come back before us?
It would come back for certain businesses if they required a special use permit. But after receiving design review approval, they would go through site plan review to construct the building.
That does not come back for
No.
our review. So we can't count the cameras and kick the tires and all that kind of thing.
No.
All right.
But we will be doing that during site plan review.
Please do that. I could affirm the category exemption EACE 2022-098 and adopt attached resolution approving DR 2022-009, subject to 11 conditions and or added conditions as deemed appropriate.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. We call for any questions, and I do have a question, and it has to do with the setback requirements. On a setback requirement, this does meet that setback requirement. Could it possibly be because Commissioner Trio was bringing up points in regards to being close to the street? Could it have been moved further in for as far as the setback requirement goes? That's my question.
It complies with the TOD's setback requirement for this area. And there's no additional space on the lot to move the building as designed.
Very good, thank you. Hearing no other questions, we'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Patrick?
Aye.
Commissioner Rice?
Aye.
Commissioner Trejo?
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
Aye.
Chairman Springs?
Aye. Ms. Wilcox?
Yes, according to the Inglewood Municipal Code, this decision can be appealed by the applicant within 10 days from the notice of Planning Commission action by filing a written notification to the Planning Division and submitting an appeal fee of $389, at which time the file will be transmitted to the City Council for their consideration.
Okay, thank you, sir. It looks like a good design. I'm looking forward to the building, and I'm sure it'll enhance the city of Inglewood. Okay, Madam Secretary, our last.
Planning Commission Review 2022-003 to approve a new 350 square foot, one-story restroom building, 3 new shade pavilions, and 1 new wash station in Edward Vinson Jr. Park on an approximately 55-acre OS open space zone property at 700 East Warren Lane.
The file is present and notice has been given in the form and manner as required by law. Staff received no correspondence from the public on this item, and Assistant Planner Christine Rivera is present to do a short staff presentation.
Good evening, Chairman Springs and members of the Commission. This is a request at Edward Vincent Jr. Park in the OS Open Space Zone. Properties to the north are zoned R2A and R3. To the south is S1. To the east is R2A and M1. And to the west is R3 and MUC. There will be new restrooms due to ADA compliance and needed modifications based on age and condition. The new restroom location is highlighted with the red box. The existing restrooms, which will be demolished, are seen near the proposed restrooms. There will be new shade pavilions that are located in the same area as those that are being demolished. These new pavilions will be in a more functional configuration. The proposed restroom facility will include 6 unisex restroom stalls. ADA stalls will include changing tables, a plumbing and electrical room with separate entrance, a stainless steel sink, and 2 drinking fountains on the west facade. The new shade pavilions will keep the same architectural shape and style as the current pavilions. The legs will differ in that they include stone on the legs. If the Planning Commission approves the request, the applicant will be required to complete the site plan review process. A notice of exemption has been prepared stating the project is exempt from further environmental review. This concludes my presentation, and I'm available to answer any questions the Commission might have. The applicant is also on the phone tonight to answer any questions.
All right, thank you. We're going to open up for questions. Commissioner Patrick?
I haven't any questions. My only comment is the sooner, the better. And I'm looking forward to it.
Commissioner Rice?
Did I miss something on one of your slides? It looked as though under one of the shade pavilions it had a sink. Running water?
So there is,
Yeah.
oh, here it is. Yes, so one of them will include a sink
Okay.
in the shade pavilion.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Trio?
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
No questions, thank you.
I have no questions. Great job. They got you working, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, is the applicant, can you give us your name? I think I know who it is. Give us your name and tell us about this project.
Greetings, Commissioners. This is Sabrina Barnes, Director for Parks, Recreation, and Community Services.
I knew it.
As stated at a previous meeting, I am extremely excited by the support of our Mayor and Council to invest in our flagship park. We are upgrading all of the restrooms at our park, so this will make the 3rd restroom on the Vinson Park site. It is currently our model with the vault-style rooms and the wash sink on the outside. We will continue to improve our restrooms, but likewise, we are taking a total look at Edward Vinson Park, and our next effort will be to renovate the shade structures. And Commissioner Williams, if you don't mind me calling you out, I know you will appreciate it as you recently this summer had your, I believe, school reunion or class reunion there.
Yes.
So hopefully next year when
Yes.
you're back, you'll have a new location to enjoy.
Yes.
We are better configuring it so that it works better for the users. Commissioner Rice, you were right. There is a sink there, a wash basin for individuals that may need to wash out that barbecue pan, or they drop the food or something. That is available to the participants that will be using that space. And then also there are some additional tables and chairs under a shade tree that participants will be able to enjoy.
Thank you, Ms.
That
Barnes.
completes my.
Thank you, Ms. Barnes. That's very good. Thank you. We have some questions for you, I think. So we're going to start off with Commissioner Patrick.
Good evening, Sabrina. As I said, I don't know if you heard me, the sooner the better, but one question. You will be raising the former bathroom. What are you going to put there, or is it just going to be park? Do you have anything special you're going to put there where the current bathrooms are?
We do not currently have a plan for that. It may just remain open space. If you've been to the park recently, you may see that we've added some greenfield fitness stations. We may shift some things in that area and use that as part of additional fitness equipment, but right now it's unplanned.
Fine, thank you.
Commissioner Rice.
Thank you, Mrs. Barnes. It's well needed, these restrooms. Thank you so much. Just wanted to put an initiative over to you to consider also in the amphitheater, potentially putting some columns up so that it can be utilized a little better when people have events there, they can kind of have some covering from the sun.
That shade structure, Commissioner Rice, it is on our list.
Oh, great. Thank you. And no further questions.
Commissioner Trio.
Thank you very much. I have no questions. Thank you.
And Commissioner Shaw Williams, the party animal.
Hi, Ms. Barnes. Very excited about the plans that you've set forth. I have no questions.
I have no questions, Ms. Barnes. I think you're doing a fabulous job with the park, especially at Vinson Park. I'm looking for something to happen at Rogers Park because that's in my district. So maybe we can do something there shortly.
Definitely heard and noted, Commissioner. We're trying to make our way around to all of our parks, spending time and investing in upgrading them. So you will see projects coming to Rogers Park.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, is there a motion on the floor?
Motion. Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. Motion, I move that the Planning Commission affirm categorical exemption EACE 2022-100 and adopt the attached resolution approving PCR 2022-003 subject to 6 conditions and/or add conditions as deemed appropriate.
Second.
Okay, everybody loves this. It's been properly moved in second. We're calling for any questions. Hearing none, we'll call for our vote.
Commissioner Patrick,
Aye.
Commissioner Rice,
Aye.
Commissioner Trejo,
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams,
Aye.
Chairman Springs.
Aye. Thank you, Ms. Barnes. Good job. Madam, Ms. Wilcox?
Yes, Chairman. According to the Inglewood Municipal Code, this decision can be appealed by the applicant within 10 days from the notice of Planning Commission action by filing a written notification to the Planning Division and submitting an appeal fee of $389, at which time the file will be transmitted to the City Council for their consideration.
Thank you. At this point, we have in public comments, anyone wishing to address the Planning Commission on any matters in their jurisdiction and not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. Operator, can you open up the phone lines?
Please press pound 2 on your telephone keypad if you wish to make a comment. Please press pound 2. We have no comment at this time.
Thank you. We're going to close this segment, and we're going to have commissioners' initiatives. We're going to start with Commissioner Patrick.
Good evening, everyone. I would just like to encourage everyone, as you know, that this is a very important time across the United States in general, and here in Inglewood in particular. And I would like to encourage everyone to go out and vote for the candidate of your choice, and encourage all of your friends and family to do that. We need those votes, and we need your participation. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Commissioner Rice?
Diddle, diddle, diddle that.
Commissioner Trio?
Yes, I have a couple of things. Can you tell me what the status is on the Century Boulevard renovation report that I know Commissioner Shaw Williams and I sat with those that were preparing the report 4 or 5 months ago?
Yes.
And I understood it was going to come out within a month or two, but
Yes, it's taken a little bit longer. We've been working with the Urban Land Institute on some revisions to the report. And so we expect it to be finalized within, I'd say, about a month.
okay. It came to mind because I drove under the freeway overpass, and it is awful there. And if they could do what they presented to us, where they could light it up and clean it up, it would be wonderful, because right now it's scary. I mean, it's very dark, even during the day, it's very dark, and it is filthier than all get out. So that's why it came to mind. So that's one thing. I read a couple weeks ago that Gavin Newsom, our Governor Gavin Newsom, had signed legislation banning parking requirements for new developments. Is that going to be applied to any development we'll be looking at in the future?
We are also aware of that legislation. We're still reviewing it to see where it would apply, but that is supposed to go into effect in January. There are some exceptions to it, and so we are definitely taking a careful look at those and how it would be applied in the city.
Okay, yeah, that is on top of the ADU that we talked about last month or a couple months ago. And then finally, thank you all for my birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I had a very nice birthday, and it was a lot of fun, so I appreciate extending my fun with a birthday card. Thank you all.
Commissioner Shaw Williams?
I just want to wish everybody a happy rest of their week, and as we've all stated, the importance of voting, and get out and vote and encourage family and friends. That's all.
Okay, very good. And I want to say happy birthday to you. I normally sing happy birthday, but your birthday is already over, so I won't be singing it to you. But happy birthday belated.
I'll hold you to that for next year.
Very good. I just want to advise everybody that this month, the month of October, is actually breast cancer awareness. Not only breast cancer, but a cancer awareness. And then we need to be aware. If you want one of the pins, I can supply some pins for you so you can wear it, so that everybody knows that you are aware of the breast cancer. I want to encourage everyone to go out and vote, because it's very important, not only in the city of Inglewood, but throughout our nation. It is very important that you go out and vote. And saying all that, that's it. Have a great night. Our meeting is adjourned.